Hey everybody, it's GI Joburg episode 441. I am Paul and I'm joined by these sexy people next to me. This is Steven
So sexy.
and this is Sexy Rob.
Whoa! Wow.
And with our powers combined, we are Sexy Berg.
Whoa!
Oh, boy. I don't know if you guys are getting the benefit of this if you're just listening to this podcast as opposed to watching. But back in the day when I used to do a lot of audio dubbing, the engineer always knew if I had a big beard because it kind of added a bit of soundproofing. I don't know, gave my voice a different sound. But where I was going with that was just to counter your sexy comment there, Paul. Yeah, I'm pretty bristly these days, and that means that if I want to just have a little repeat of my dinner, I just lick my stash.
The flavor saver.
Dude, it's real, man. What the dirty secret of any man who grows a beard or person who grows a beard is that you need to shampoo the shit out of this every day.
Yes.
Otherwise it gets stinky.
Yes.
Anyway, how's everyone else's weekend going?
Yeah, pretty good. Nice and chilled this side. Can't say too much except there has been a fun bit of news that has come our way that's got me excited. And Rob,
we got a lot to talk about.
Wow, we got tons to talk about. Yeah, we're on the edge here. We're hoping this is new to you and you're getting excited. Just whoa, what could it be?
Well, if you are in the trenches of GI Joe, it's unlikely to be new. And I mean, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, this might be ancient history. But as of recording, we are getting leaked images from the forthcoming Super 7 Wave of 4 plus the Tiger Force exclusive figure. Now, this stuff came from Indonesia, and I kicked myself because I happen to have family out there. But I wasn't about to tell my friend who's... No, not friend, my cousin, who's kind of scooter-based, let's just say, in terms of his transportation, to do a 90-minute scoot to this particular toy shop to pick me up some Super 7 O-ring figures. The thought did cross my mind, though. It did cross my mind. Of course it did.
I would be
my cousin Michael on his scooter on the highway for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
Fun.
One of the first GI Joe fans probably in the world to get these toys. I mean, I'm sure people would randomly pick them up off the shelf, but you would definitely be the very first guy in the know that would own these.
I don't know. Indonesia is a pretty big place, one of the most populous places on the world. So I'm sure there are a handful of Joe fans there who are flocking to this particular store who, as is typical in the Far East, if they've got the shelf space or the peg space, street date be damned. It doesn't matter what the scheduling Super 7 has for their waves. If they've got stock, they'll put it out.
Yeah,
which is crazy because I mean, like when you shared this news with us, like I checked Super 7, there's nothing on there yet about any of these toys.
Yeah,
like the most recent things they have on there is obviously the stuff, it's Wild Bill and those guys, and the Glow Patrol three figure sets. And that's really
well, it stands to reason that they're going to try and move all of that stuff before they announce the next wave. I mean, they've only just in the last week and a half shipped out the Fatal Fluffy Force pack of 3. So that stuff is still hot and happening. They obviously want to give it their full attention in terms of a marketing push. So this comes as a bit of a curveball, but you know what? It's nice to know that this stuff happens to Super 7 as well. For a long time, we've been watching leaks for the Classified series. But for us kind of O-ring dedicated guys, you excluded, Paul, it's nice to see the same kind of fervor and excitement and suspense around leaked images of like Super 7 Reaction Plus stuff.
Why am I excluded?
Because you like the Classified series as well. So you've been getting the benefit of all that fun leakage. Let's go there first. Because why? Because I'm going to back in this podcast with the main talking point. Just to hook everybody and keep you with us a little bit longer. Let's start with some images posted by Weibo of the forthcoming classified Ninja Force Snake Eyes and Jinx 2-pack. But here
Oh
we
yeah,
have
we got to
Snake Eyes
talk about this.
in his like wolf mask, which Paul, off air, you were like, ugh, why does Snake Eyes need that mask? Well, it's a timber thing, and also, as Vibo has posed this particular Snake Eyes beside the 00, like first Snake Eyes, first classified figure, sort of art print.
Mm.
That mask was also kind of a stylized, I don't know, Japanese wolf mask. I'm sure
No.
there's a cool name that you're gonna throw at us for now.
So the mask that Snake Eyes is wearing has got like wolfish features, but in a lot of ways it's very representative of a fox spirit, which is
Oh,
which are also known to be
Another canine.
another canine, which are also meant to be either benevolent or malevolent, depending on who you are, because they can be good and bad things at the same time. But the original, but the graphics in the background, they have kind of like pushed it in this kind of wolfy kind of canine direction, where I guys, I don't know, sorry, it's just as like while I'm getting into the info of it, still don't like it. And like, ooh, Stevenson's like shooting through some pictures quickly, but it would have been fine if it just sort of represented like an Oni kind of spirit, like just like a normal Oni looking mask. But I suppose the problem with that is that it would kind of mix with I think it's Slice or Dice comes with a mask that's got like an Oni kind of look to it as well. And Oni are technically, or Oni are technically like bad guys. They're like ogres kind of things.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a tricky one. But yeah, I don't know. Like I was saying to you guys off air, I think it would have been cooler if Snake Eyes had come with a mask that was more representative of a Tengu, because a Tengu in Japanese mythology is somebody who is so unchallenged that they have to separate themselves from society because there's nobody that can challenge them. So their lives become just about being even greater. And they also, they become these formidable warriors that live in the mountains, and they slowly start turning into, like, just to paraphrase, a crow demon. Let's just call it that. But they are like the most formidable, and I think it would have been cool to have that with Snake Eyes because he has got a loner kind of personality type. He is like this undefeated master in the GI Joe lore, and so him being representative of a Tengu would have been a cool way to show his inner struggle. But they went with this kind of weird wolfy mask thing, which thankfully is an optional extra. And I suppose if I see it in person, maybe I will warm to it a bit more. But yeah, but actually, now that when you mentioned it earlier, Steve, that whole thing about the link to timber, yeah, that's actually that's a nice nod design wise. I must say, I didn't think or feel that at all until you mentioned it now in our episode. So yeah.
Rob, you loved the Shadow Ninjas version of this sculpt. I think
yes.
you're perhaps not aware of its sort of original version with this kind of blue.
It's true, actually.
Do you like this
Hmm.
representation?
I think it's quite good. I actually quite like it. I love to see it, something like this in O-ring. I think they've done a good job of kind of like classifying this version of Snake Eyes. I think it's fantastic, and I like the kind of small details Steven's kind of going up on the face. The different textures to it. It's not just one type of texture going on with the faceplate. His original one.
He's got blue eyeliner.
Very nice. I'm sure that that's very 90s, isn't it? Kind of fitting in.
Or 80s, I don't know.
People.
Heavy blue eyeshadows.
Yeah, but I think it looks very good overall. I think it's quite decent. And of course, the inclusion of the mask, it's, if you like it, you can use it. If you don't have to use it. But obviously, it is in line with what the Classified have been doing with the entire Ninja Force, kind of including these secondary animal-themed or spirit-themed masks to kind of have their spin on the Ninja Force.
kind of becomes the unifying factor of all of the Ninja Force. So, bonus to whoever came up with that in the boardroom. That's quite nice. And for anyone else who, that gives rocks about these things, well, Classified gives you so much draw fodder. It'll just wind up in the pile. You can forget about it completely if it's not ringing your bell. But the figure itself, yeah, dude, that is really making this design shine. Something that we've always wanted. And, as O-Ring fans, like, it's such a tease. The potential for a great design was there, totally cocked up by a stupid feature. No one is in support of that ridiculous T-crotch, squeeze the legs and the arms, very weakly kind of flail about. Like, no one enjoyed that, not even back in the day. So, I mean, maybe for a laugh. I think Rob used it to comedic effect.
Yeah, it was great fun to kind of make him flail his arms around, but not
just
in
stupid,
any
like, I
practical
just
way.
need a hug. Why won't anybody love me? But yeah, 10 out of 10 in terms of just classifying him up. Love the alternating sort of matte and gloss textures. The faceplate is very shiny smooth. The body armor and the crotch piece, mercifully, is like a matte. So it will not bounce too much light off that, whatever.
Liking the
gooch.
claws as well. Like on this shot that we're showing off to the viewers, those claws are a lot of fun. Oh wow, this
It's
is
nice that
yeah.
With this far into Classified, and we've had so many versions of Snake Eyes, and multiple ones that come with lots of weapons, and it's cool that they can kind of still include something a little different with each one.
Yeah, that's something that's been fun about the Classified is just that little bit of extra like swing has been like fun to see.
Yeah,
where
because
the
you'd think
characters.
by now we would have all the weapons we could possibly want for Snake Eyes.
Well,
Especially if you own like all 20 versions of him from Classified.
yeah, I mean there is one that's missing for me.
Oh.
The original Ninja Force came with a Dao, which is a Chinese broadsword. In fact, Snake Eyes' sword is arguably a Da Dao, which is a great Chinese sword, a broadsword, which is a bigger one.
Whoa.
Which was for me always a really cool twist because I remember when I got it, like when I got the Shadow Warriors version and we had the sword, David told me it's a Chinese sword. And I was like, Chinese sword? And he's like, yeah. He's like, this is a Chinese sword. And it's like interesting that a character that has typically always been a Japanese kind of feel in terms of its character has a Chinese sword. And you can see it for the viewers, and on the original card art, you can see it behind his head. It's sort of a replacement for the falchion. And yeah, it would be because this kind of sword, a Chinese broadsword, is not it's basically a machete. But a lot of the movements to make it effective are very rounded movements, which are very similar to how you use a falchion. It's the same kind of movements, for the weapon, the parrying and stuff works the same. So it makes sense that Snake Eyes would use that. And I wonder
Is
where
it
that
also flexible? Like,
yes, mildly flexible.
That's what I'm mildly
Yeah.
flexible. Okay, so as with I think DAOs, you kind of are able to flick it to kind of strike around, someone else's blade. So if someone's
Yes.
trying to parry, you can kind of whip the sword around and actually bends
Yeah, you
to
can, like-
strike someone beyond their sword.
Which is a brutal little attack because people might not put a lot of stake into this, but like I do a DAO, I do a form for this in my training, and there are one or two movements where you like flick the sword, but there's one that you specifically do when you start off with the weapon, and it actually flicks yourself. And that little flick, if that's in your eye, that's it. Your eyesight's gone. That will pierce your eyeball. And mine's a practice sword. So
Respect the DAO.
yeah, respect the DAO.
And a point that I made to you guys off air, and that's something that is relevant here, is it's a double shame that he doesn't come with this sword, because in the era of weaponry weapons, if a character had a specific weapon in their card art, that kind of marked that weapon as their specific weapon, and the rest were just dojo fodder. Like, yeah, sure, a lot of people came with the same sword on their tree, but it was Snake Eyes' sword because it's on his card art. Similar with that throwing dirk or whatever it is, that dagger. That also came with a lot of guys, but because it's on Snake Eyes' card art, that is also coded as his weapon. Mercifully, they didn't make his crotch piece blue. I see in the original figure, it's quite a bold choice.
Yeah, which is crazy because it doesn't match the card art. The card art has it is just a blue belt. So I suppose they went back to the card art instead of completely reproducing the original figure. Yeah, good choice on their part. They didn't have a little
Also,
diaper on.
Steve, on the classified, I'm just looking at the Ninja Force version again, and it's funny how the brain does this when you look at the classified.
It would
fills in
do
these
it.
blanks for you. But does he have the smoke bombs? Because all those, yeah, okay, no, there we go.
All those little,
and they, yeah,
he's
you
got
see,
so
but they
much
changed them
ordnance.
into grenades there on his hip. They're no longer just the small little smoke bombs anymore. I see.
Yeah, he is fully equipped. I mean, he's not only embracing, his ninja side, but he still has that kind of the military edge of his grenades and guns.
Yeah.
I can only imagine this background that Weibo has is the Japanese translation of the Omnibus, the sort of electronic version.
It looks like, to me, it looks like simplified Han, like Chinese Mandarin.
Oh, Chinese. Oh, right. Okay, then it's, yeah, that would make more sense.
It's a little bit
from
blurred,
China.
but it looks like it's
Yeah.
Chinese. Yeah.
And anyone got anything to say about Jinx? We can see some detail of her face.
Wow.
She has that crow vibe that you speak
Yes,
of.
she's got this like karasu kind of thing going for her, which I think is really rad. On her mask, there's like a little bit of a red tip on the mask. The mask to me, design-wise, looks like it kind of makes me feel like it's a sparrow, that kind of look.
Oh.
Like a sparrow or a swallow kind of face. But I think it's meant to evoke a tengu or karasu kind of look because it's got a little bit of a red tip on its beak, which, like, to me signifies a bit of the tengu look. Plus the black feathers for her gear. She's got this this wrap, this kind of poncho. Let's call it a poncho. I don't know what the Japanese name for that is, but yeah, that is very sort of indicative or very reminiscent of depictions of the tengu, is that they have that kind of feathered poncho. So for me, yeah, she owes more into that tengu look, which is actually really cool. Like, I really like this design of Jinx. I do like that they've borrowed a few things from other pop culture like situations. Like the first one I'll mention is her breastplate. That breastplate is very much based on the breastplate for Japanese archers. It's not exactly the same. It's kind of a hybrid between a archery breastplate and a samurai's
sex plate.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hell of a sexy. This off the shoulder number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
A lot of flesh on this figure.
But I
think
like it.
the archery thing, it's meant to be asymmetrical because of the way that they pull the bows, isn't it?
Yeah, so there is a bit of that.
What is the function of her jasmine pants with the sort of like the hips on display?
Oh, it's just super
the
ninja.
function is just to, give us something nice to look at, I guess.
I love the outfit, and I'm sure I would do backflips if I saw, some of our finest female cosplayers replicate this look, because it's very sexy.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But the action figure construction begs the question. Like, if you have her even slightly posed, those costume elements are going to misalign. Her torso and her upper chest are going to break. Those lines will kind of mesh. And then her hips and her legs will also kind of, I don't know. I'll be curious to see how people pose her up and what it looks like under those situations. I'm half curious to actually buy this set just for that reason, and see like would this not have been achieved better with soft goods?
I definitely want to get this set.
Just all right,
throwing that out there.
I wonder why.
But with her legs, if anybody here is listening is a fan of Street Fighter or is familiar with Street Fighter, there's a character in Street Fighter 4, 5, and 6, or most notably 5 and 6, that had a character called Jiri, and she has pants that are similar to this.
Wow.
But these pants that she's wearing, that Jinx is wearing, are very like ninjistic. You know, you've got a lot of. It's very much borrowed from anime. It's very much borrowed from a lot of pop culture kind of ninja looks. And you know, and like cool. It's a contemporary look. Cool of them to do that. It's just I have some questions because while it does make a lot of sense, and not to like, let's not like overthink this too hard, but so at some point there's supposed to be underwear happening there, right? Because those big baggy pants are going. I just don't think that they were tightened that way. You know, in anime, other anime characters, they'll have something like hot pants or reminiscent of like hot pants or kind of ski pants kind of looking things under that, and then they'll have the like the ninja tubby, those pants over that.
Yeah, so you
So,
would have those that you still expose the flesh on the thighs,
yeah,
but there would be some sort of bikini or something at the top there, or just
yeah,
normal pants. You know, that
yeah.
are
So
there. So that the thigh bit would have to be filled out a little bit more.
yeah, so that's where it gets a bit confusing. But overall, I
You don't have
think
to
it's great.
overthink it when it's an action figure because no one's going to be able to take a peek.
Yeah, of course. I
True.
mean, that's not what we're hoping for or anything. It's just that like I'm just trying to make it make sense. Remember, some of us, our significant others, will look at this and be like, "That makes no sense. You guys are just pervs," you know, or something. You know, so
Well, then I guess I withdraw my comment about wanting to see someone cosplay this because, yeah, that is not an achievable look without flashing your unmentionables.
yeah,
But I think you could do it in real life if the belt part was actually slightly lower. It almost feels like the belt that she's wearing,
too
the kind
high.
of big black leathery thing, is too high. It kind of rides. It's almost where her belly button would be.
Mm.
She actually, if that was slightly lower, it would actually be an achievable real life thing that you could do, because then you could have the underwear, the hot pants on the, you know.
Oh, guys, she's
Yeah.
just wearing a pair of flesh-colored hot pants. That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, you can do that. Obviously, yeah. I mean, like,
So it's
to be very impractical in the cold.
But also, just so that we're not coming across as the you know, hot outfit police or anything like that, I
Oh, for
do
sure. No,
I,
yeah.
I do want to stress that I am very happy that Hasbro's design team went in this direction, because
Oh.
it's cool to see. It's cool to see a functional, let's call it believably functional outfit that is sexy, that is sort of reminiscent of superheroes, you know, superheroes from the 90s and early 2000s, because
Yeah.
so much of the design these days for these characters, for female characters in particular, has gone like it's fully swung the other way, where it's just been like, let's put a bunch of jerseys on that girl, you know, kind of thing. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
And it's nice that they're finding like these cool middle grounds again. And it's a great thing to see on Lara as well. Like they didn't, you know, they kept Lara at a good level. That's Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
Oh,
And so it's
Lara.
yeah, and it's nice to see that Jinx is in that same place. She's not. They didn't get all like super prude and super conservative with the design, and it's fun to see this kind of ninja.
Well, I mean, also, I
ninja
mean,
look.
with her as well, like traditionally, we've only really had her in like essentially one outfit, which is that kind of like complete ninja outfit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the red, or sometimes I guess yellow. So you kind of do you have license to kind of try something very different with her?
Mm.
You know, because there's no baseline established for what her ninja force look would be. So it is kind of cool that they kind of tried something completely different.
And
I
now
expected more neon.
you expected more
really?
neon. Okay, yeah. Is anybody
Nah,
else?
that's just me taking the piss, honestly. Like they can do this is the classified take on Ninja Force, so you
Yeah,
can dial back the 90s a little bit.
just a
Like
little bit.
Snake Eyes' blue, for instance, is not that extremely punchy blue that the 1993 figure had.
This
It is
is
somewhat
true.
muted, dulled.
And for those of you screaming at your
Oh.
podcatcher or the YouTube video,
Oh my
I'm going to
Why are
mention
they
this.
screaming?
I feel like I'm with you on this. But why doesn't Jinx have a blindfold? I think that is such a
Oh.
missed opportunity for Jinx. Why don't we have a face where
Mhm.
it distinctly shows that she's blindfolded? Much
Well, I
like the
mean,
Collectors Club exclusive figure, one of the really awesome Collectors Club exclusive figures that they did for the 25th anniversary, or let's call them 30th anniversary figures at that time for the modern era.
hmm.
Do you feel like this is a missed opportunity, is the blindfold?
Did her
Well,
original classified release have a blindfold?
I think it does, actually.
yeah, well,
Uh,
maybe
Hopefully you
that's
can do a head
why.
swap. Hopefully these
Yeah,
things are compatible. It'd be a shame if they weren't. And it's such a malady of our time that these things aren't universally compatible.
yeah.
mm.
But you can also imagine that the smaller her Tengu mask could be not see through. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that could also be
it's pretty
implied.
easy. I mean, like Daredevil in the Netflix series has eye holes, or at least they appear to be eye holes,
Yeah.
but obviously he cannot see through them.
And Steve, yeah, to answer
So
your question, yeah, the original classified does have a blindfold. Sorry, Rob, I
yeah,
interrupted.
but
baby.
also, I mean, like the original O-ring figure doesn't come with a blindfold. The blindfold is very much a cartoon, you know,
Mm.
thing. Like they're not trying to ape the cartoon here. They're trying to make it fit into, you know, the Ninja Force
It's
and
just
the
such a
toys and
cool.
the comics. Not so much.
I just love that she has the ear that sees. It's such a cool feature to Jinx, and
For sure. But
like,
she's more than just being able to do things blind. She can actually. She's more than just that. This one thing.
and I see they
All
went
right,
with the.
Paulie, I take it
Yeah,
this two pack is a lock for you.
it's definitely a lock for me. The
Sounds
Jinx.
like both of you gonna get it, eh?
Hell
Hey,
to the no, brother.
You just
Steve's.
said you really wanted it, eh?
He said
I had a
yeah.
I said I'm curious about posing Jinx, but maybe not curious enough
Ah.
to dip my toe. I mean, I'm very fortunate in that I was given a taste of classified by a good friend who I've never met in person, but he
Oh.
gifted me the 00 Snake Eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's classified enough for me.
Yeah,
Fair
no,
enough
this
for
is
you. Okay, well, I
this.
guess we're never getting a classified episode where we review one that we all own.
Hey man, every now and then I step out, so you boys can classify it all. Hell, we've spoken about nothing but classified for this entire podcast.
Exactly.
To this
That's
point.
so
I think it's
true.
time for a change of. Continue.
I was just gonna say this
And
is now a lock
continuance.
for me, and the problem is that it's not just this. It's gonna be this set, the Scarlet and Shebang set. It's
Wow.
going to be Ninja Force Zartan, and it's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be Slice and Dice now, if I can. And while I like this Jinx a lot, I am very much compelled to try and get myself the retro card Jinx now, because that is still like the coolest looking Jinx, and I think it's worth mentioning. While I like this Jinx and it's a great pack in, and having the 2-pack is a great opportunity for classified Joes to have a very ambitious design for Jinx, I'm all for it, and I want to support that in my own way. And I don't think she would have done well as a single carded Jinx. So it's nice that she's a nice pack in with Snake Eyes over here.
Yo.
I think you
Okay.
mean the regular classified release. They haven't done a retro card of Jinx.
Yeah, it's a regular classified. Sorry, it looks like it was a retro card, but yeah, and
No, it
like
doesn't with all those
Ooh.
Yakuza tats.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm done with the
very much.
Yakuza tats. Oh, that's actually something I
It
wanted.
doesn't look like a vintage Jinx though. Is my point. Like they
Look,
they
it's close
classified
enough
her
to
up.
vintage for me. But hey, maybe we will see a retro card now that they've done this pack. But that's the last thing I want to say. I don't love her tattoo from what I've seen so far, just because it's got that deviant art Japanese ninja princess kind of look to it, which I just don't love personally. This is my own feeling on it, not like a direct criticism of it.
Yo.
But I do prefer Jinx's Yakuza tattoo or Yakuza looking sleeve on the original, on the first classified release. And I actually think it would have been cool if they kept that going there, because just would have made more sense, gives the character a bit more grit and edge. This one's got a cute little sakura blossom. It's very like, ay, 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 it's my little butterfly. Like kind of shit. Like, I hate that cuck. So I might wipe that off when I get this.
All right.
Wow,
see.
that's quite a statement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip the table right now, boys.
Flip the table.
We're gonna talk about.
Ah.
We're gonna talk about. I mean, it's come and gone in terms of the news cycle, but we have not recorded our thoughts on it. The announcement that perhaps Danny McBride is going to helm a GI Joe movie set to shoot next year.
Mm-hmm.
The details are Duke and a couple of Joes wind up in a Cobra held town of Springfield. Well, I think he just said Cobra held town, but we all regard that as Springfield.
Yeah.
And I guess a battle for survival and escape ensues.
Wow.
Danny McBride
Interesting.
himself, I only know him as the kind of the pyrotechnics guy from Tropic Thunder.
Oh, that guy. The
That's my
Koenigan
touchdown
guy.
for him.
Okay.
This would be his
Minus your
directorial
highness.
debut, I think,
Wow.
for feature film. But yeah, he pitched this idea to Paramount, and they are quite keen. He's even got some actor pals stepping into line for potentially taking the roles.
God,
I
please
know
let it not be-
Bradley Cooper has been tossed around as a potential Duke. Walton Goggins is also potentially.
Oh, shit, Walton
interested
Goggins
in
would be a
joining-
great Cobra Commander. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's Cobra
Pick for
Commander.
I would
Okay.
love him as
But
Cobra.
I mean, have you guys heard any of this buzz? Is this news to you? What are your reactions?
I like Danny McBride. Like I just the film that I know him from quite a bit is Your Highness, which is like amazing. I love that movie. It's absolutely ridiculous, and he's funny as shit in that. And I think he had something to do with the making of that film. I think he was one of the producers or writers for that film. So I think the man's got like he understands stuff. But you know what? We've had everybody thrown at us that should quote unquote be making a GI Joe film, and for greater or lesser degree, they've all kind of failed. So maybe Danny McBride is the wild card that could bring this together. I mean, one thing that has been quoted, and I feel like this is in your press pack, you know, your PR pack, is like you must say that you like GI Joe. But so he apparently is a GI Joe fan, allegedly, and that
He says
and
he's still got his toys.
says he's still got
Whoa.
his toys. So does John Chu. I think that was his name. You know, they all still have their toys, whatever's. You know, so like, but you know what does intrigue me is somewhere in some interview there was an allusion to No Place Like Springfield. And I don't know if that was him referencing it or something like that, or somebody else in the Joe community, possibly Chris McLeod. I'm sorry if I'm misquoting you, bro. But somebody alluded to the fact that No Place Like Springfield is kind of a bit of an influence for the feel of this film. And that
It's
has
more than
me
an
intrigued.
illusion.
Yeah.
His exact words, I think. No, I say exact, and then I'm stumbling. But he says the Joes are fighting their way through a Cobra controlled town.
So
yeah, and that's
that's got-
basically
That's
basically
it, man.
cartoon.
Issue 10, baby.
So
And then issue 50 and Springfield.
yeah, many
And multiple
issue
Springfields.
312. Yeah.
but like, you know, all these like fans, and then I say this, I'm not trying to be like a dick when I do the inverted commas thing, but there's people who say like, I love GI Joe, but unlike Steve and Rob, I can't immediately quote this event in the comic books. Like they were like issue 10. I was like, I mean, I remember reading that. I don't remember it being issue 10. But I think a lot of Americans, especially somebody like Danny McBride, until proven otherwise, I think a lot of those guys are going to reference the cartoon. And I think it's fair to say that like fighting out of Springfield, you know, does have the whole No Place Like Springfield feel to it as well. I don't know.
Fortunately, Springfield has notoriety in both the cartoon and comic book.
Yeah.
So regardless of what your touchstone is, Springfield does mean something, and it means a undercover secret Cobra Town, and the Joes either stumble onto it or try to invade it and attack it. Like there's a lot of interesting stuff that you can do with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is kind of one of the tent poles. If you are just taking a run at any of the major GI Joe plot lines, it's the Hiroshikage sort of murder mystery. it's the creation of Serpentor, it's the creation of Cobra Island, and it's Springfield. Like those are kind of evergreen, well, not evergreen. They are the major GI Joe plot lines. Cobra Island Civil War is another one. Like these are moments in the GI Joe lore that anyone wanting to write a screenplay would home in on. Be like, this is the moment. This is a excitement filled prospect. This is true GI Joe. This is stuff that any GI Joe fan will know inside and out, back and forth.
So I mean, like I think the other side of it is just and then more on a more modern side of things, it's GI Joe Cobra, which has been a very popular and very engaging part of the GI Joe lore, especially from the modern side of things, which has been really great. So my hopes, these are my hopes for this film. If I could just quickly preload that before you guys get a chance to jump in. My hopes are that we get to see Cobra from the inside, because the Joes that are there have somehow, it's going to sound like maybe it'd be kind of hokey as a plot, but I'm hoping that we see Cobra from the inside and we see how insidious they are. And guys, I go on and on and on about the sort of cultish side of Cobra and the brainwashing side of Cobra. And I really think it would be cool if we got a bunch of Joes in there that have been brainwashed, and they're slowly, they're finding themselves and finding a way, trying to start an insurrection and find their ways out of there. And I think that would be interesting, because then we'll really get to see why Cobra is actually a villain that we should care about. Because up until this point, every time Cobra has been shown in film, it has always been this, okay, they've taken over the government and they're pretending to be the president. Oh well, shit, like that's already happened. Then we've got the Snake Eyes film, where Cobra is kind of like this, in like the secret kind of vibe. Okay, not bad in the Snake Eyes film. Like I feel like they kind of got a good idea there. But it's always been
Don't forget about nanites destroying the Eiffel Tower.
Exactly.
Paul.
It's always
been accelerated suits through the streets of Paris. Yeah.
Exactly. It's always been like the action figure version of what Cobra is. But I want to see the thing that's really scary about Cobra. And maybe it's because I've been watching Homeland recently, and the way the writing is designed in that, and all the backstabbing and like plot devices that are happening, and all the what's the word, conspiracy that goes on there. I want to see that, but like make Cobra the terrorist, that we have to worry about, and how sophisticated they are at manipulating people. And that to me is interesting. And to have a Duke character that is essentially threading the needle basically between what he was and what he's been turned into, and him getting to the edge of maybe being able to turn back and not go bad, and show how close he can get to not being Duke and being Cobra, would be very interesting for me personally, and at least just show some kind of maturity in the screenwriting. But anyway, guys, I'm going off on a whole freaking tangent. You've said nothing, Rob.
Well, you've been talking the whole time.
I know.
You can't talk when Paul talks, That's not how that's not how it's done. But yeah, I think, I mean, I did hear there were two different competing pitches for GI Joe. I can't remember the name of the other guy, but Danny
Max
McBride
Landis.
Yes, Max Landis. Yes.
Whew, dodged a bullet there.
Well, you say that, but he has some very interesting ideas. Like sometimes the way that he kind of thinks about stories are very, very good. I've enjoyed some of his comics, and also his the detective story. Can't remember the name of it now, but I thought that TV show was very good.
Well, true crime.
No, not true crime. Max Landis did the geez, it's just slowing everything down. But it was a very esoteric detective TV show.
Okay.
Based off. Anyway, if I was prepared, I would have been able to talk about this better. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Okay.
You got it, buddy.
yeah, so I've enjoyed a lot of stuff that he's done. I mean, apparently he's not the nicest person in the world, but I mean, if he's if he can write interesting stories, and I think he has a very creative mind. So it's interesting. Yeah, we're going with a guy who's proven himself in comedy, I guess, because we all seem to know him from comedy stuff. So it'll be curious to see him taking on hopefully a more serious topic in a serious movie. So I really hope that we don't get a kind of like MCU-ified GI Joe, where it's kind of they're quipping jokes the whole time and crazy shit happens, but it's all very funny and kind of they undercut their own seriousness with jokes constantly.
Mm.
So yeah, that's my biggest hope, and I like that it's set in Springfield, and it sounds like it's taking on a lesser scaled threat. I mean, yes, Cobra is a worldwide threat, but it's nice that the scale of the threat is more like them trying to extricate themselves from the town and kind of like figuring out what is Cobra and what is going on here versus, as Paul stated, like world destroying things, like constantly. Yes, that is their eventual goal, but the immediate threat is what's going on in this town. And yeah, I think you could have kind of more not horror vibes, but I mean you can kind of have that aspect of it where who is on your side, who isn't on your side because of the brainwashing aspect of it. Yeah, so I think I'm cautiously optimistic because I mean the thing is like we really haven't had a full out 100% awesome GI Joe movie yet, live action film yet. Like some of them, maybe aspects of them have been interesting, but they haven't been 100% good. Where you're like, this is what GI Joe is, and this is the start of a new franchise, a new like series of movies and stuff for GI Joe. So yeah, we've been burnt enough times that I'm not going into this to like, oh, I'm really excited for what he's gonna do. It's just it's just another opportunity for Hasbro, I suppose, to try and milk a little bit of extra money out of this thing on the big screen. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic that this could be good. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, your first thought when I mentioned Walton Goggins was him as a Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
But who's the big bad of issue 10? Dr. Venom.
Hawk.
Oh yes, yeah. Yeah.
He's got such a ghoulish face. I mean, he did play the ghoul in Fallout, but like he's got those very high cheekbones. He looks maniacal. It
Yeah,
would be a shame to put him in a mask.
I was about to
is my
say that.
point. So like Dr. Venom is the face of that Springfield brainwashing situation. So yeah, maybe that's a potential
Or
casting choice.
Zartan even. I know it
Yeah.
sounds weird to say that, but he'd also be so good as Zartan. Like I've been watching this show where I'm so sorry I can't remember the name right now, but it's set in a small town and it's about a detective. It's like a sheriff in that town, and Walton Goggins plays one of the big bad guys in that show, and he's so good. He's so unbelievably good. Because he can switch so quickly between being this really likable character and this really dislikable character in a blink of an eye, and that character's so well written but so well performed that he's constantly gaslighting you as an audience, and I love it. And that's why I think he has to be something like a Cobra Commander or Zartan, somebody who's just stupidly manipulative and can manipulate the audience, never mind just the characters on screen. And I think Walton Goggins is, the guy for that job. But
Yeah.
to hear he's in this, I mean, oh my shit! Like, that
Could be in
would put me in the cinema just for
Yeah. I mean,
he's
my only
great.
worry is if you cast this too old in general with a lot of the characters, then you are kind of putting a ceiling on how many of these films you can make. So like a Bradley Cooper is maybe a Duke or something. I mean, he's in his late 40s, I'm guessing. Somewhere in his 40s at this point. I mean, that kind of like gives us what, like maybe 3 films max, I guess.
The cast of every GI Joe film has been refreshed in the next one, so don't you worry. I mean, I'm not holding out high hopes that this is like gonna be a launching pad for a trilogy of
for a
movies,
series.
or even
But I mean,
more.
I suppose, but that's always the way that they do it these days. There is the intention of making more than
Franchise.
one. There's
Yeah.
always franchise opportunities.
course,
The
of
thing is,
course.
Bradley Cooper is, 51 years old. So
I
I
like
don't
a
see what
veteran Duke.
amount of action he's going to be doing.
I've always pushed back against making Duke a younger man.
I'm
He
not
always
saying
had
like
that dad
young,
energy for
young.
me.
He doesn't have to be like 24. I mean, but at least like mid 30s. 34, 5. I think
I would push for a Duke in his 40s, and in Hollywood, older actors play down all the time. Like, I mean, I was at a bloody hardware store today, and I saw a senior citizen in the parking lot, and I thought to myself, I was trying to age this guy mentally. I was like, actually, he's not that senior. He just, he hasn't really taken too good a care of himself. He's probably in his 60s. Well, guess who else is in his 60s? Tom freaking Cruise. And that guy looks like me today. you know? So I think Bradley Cooper's going to be okay.
Sorry.
True, but
like
I
open hands. Running.
it depends. It depends on how.
Not fast enough, Paul. You got to be pumping way harder than that.
You cannot. No one can reproduce his.
I don't want to knock stuff. No, we can. By the way, the show I'm talking about is Justified. That will.
Justified. I was wondering. Hey, that was kind of like bugging me for the last 10 minutes.
So great. But everything that he's been in has just been outstanding. Anyway, the movie.
Let's swing it back to the plastic, baby.
Plastic, fantastic.
It's time. It's time for the title fight.
So we've been edging people for over an hour at this point. I mean, I hope those people have stayed because, yeah.
Well,
we've done the opposite of instantaneous.
In an era of transcripts, you could have skipped to this point very easily. In fact, AI has probably generated chapters for this podcast.
Yeah.
But
that's where AI is
chapter 12. They finally talk about.
Well, let's just let AI know. AI, hello. We are about to talk about the Super 7 reveals from this past week. The next wave.
The next wave of action figures.
Let's talk about them in a kind of a more logical sequence. But just as an overview, the wave of 4 is Flint, Sunbow colors, Baroness in her Arctic duds from GI Joe the movie.
It helps prevent the
Shipwreck
stands. Hold on.
In his pea coat from Master of Oz.
So that is confirmed. Okay, cool.
And the snake armor with O-ring construction, I'm going to say. There are rivets in the arms. We'll get into it. Then the exclusive is Tiger Force Jinkies.
Yay.
All right. Let's start at the top. Let's start with Route 1. Every wave has to have a sort of a hero character. Super 7's remit when it comes to these figures is making something that we didn't get in the vintage line. And I'd say this passes that grade because Flint was always depicted with this kind of greenish, brownish shirt in the cartoon. And of course, the figure was wearing a black shirt.
Yeah.
So if you were a fan of the cartoon, this probably drove you a little bit crazy. Maybe. I don't know. Did it?
No.
I do have some. I mean, we have blurry pictures courtesy of whoever took this footage from the toy store in Indonesia.
Can we just
about an hour?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, you mentioned AI, right? I mean, with the prevalence of like generative images, are we just going on the assumption that this stuff is real, and we just until proven otherwise?
I have watched a kind of a walkthrough of the store.
Okay.
I don't know if AI was able to whip that one up. I mean, it's
okay.
There's been enough stuff online to kind
of like the origins of the original post is like a friend. The original post wasn't even focused on the GI Joe. The framing of it was a friend sent him a picture and was talking about Super 7 did doing invincible figures now. Interesting. And it was posted to the original post was on Reddit. It was in the r/action figures. So it had nothing to do with
so Brian Flint's buddy basically. Sorry.
So I think and then if you look at the comments going from that thread, I mean, yeah, it seems legit. At least based off the conversations the original poster had with other people on Reddit.
I do. Before we get into all of these things, I just want to speculate on something. I do think that this is intentional. I don't think that this is by happenstance. I think this is
Okay.
very much, for me, I feel like this is a bit of guerrilla marketing from Super 7's side of things.
You're
It's not the
giving him a
first.
lot of credit.
No, I'll tell you why. It's not about giving them credit or anything right now. I'm just gonna put the evidence on the table. The last time we got a Super 7 reveal, it was also somebody showing photos, and that was all the ninja stuff. And it was also stuff on the, it was outside, it was in somebody's like room, it was in an office. I feel, and like it's the same kind of feeling. So that with that evidence, the theory I built from that is that I think Super 7 is gently kind of getting this into our minds and getting us, because now we're talking about it. Okay, we're
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
about it.
it's
Sure we
taken
are.
GI Joe, it's set the bloody world alight at the moment.
Yeah.
And Paul, I just want to back you up because on two counts. You asked, is this generative AI? And I was like, no, I kind of flatly refused it. But what makes it feel like AI is just the sheer opulence of it. Like
Yes.
it looks like a computer's just cut and pasted, like copy pasted, like a dozen action figures. We're so not accustomed to seeing racks this stacked.
Yeah.
Like there
Yeah.
are Turtles foot soldiers and shredders and Donnies, and they're just
Oh
like
my.
seven to the back of the peg. They're 7 deep,
Yeah.
8 even. Cheapers. The Joes are also like 7 or 8 deep. The snake armor, which is a much thicker card or thicker bubble, they've stacked like 4 deep in one place, and then 3 deep above from that. So seeing that kind of opulence is so unusual. It seems like something only an AI brain could kind of conjure up based on like imagery from the 80s.
Mm.
And then also, to back up your points about this might be a kind of a intentional, like wink, wink, nudge, nudge leak. Like, yeah, because it absolutely has the desired effect of whipping us up into a fervor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe Brian Flynn did contact Bintaro Exchange and said like, okay, I want you to put on a rather like chaotic happenstance, like as if you'd stock the shelves. But man, this looks way overstocked. This is an intense push of Super 7 product all in
Mm-hmm.
one spot. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
not a single other item from any other toy line on this sort of in this selection.
All Super
So it
7.
does feel like, yeah,
Mhm.
it feels like they were like, bam, make it a blitz, but just make it just us. Frame it so it's just us.
Yep. Like that's my vibe. Yeah. So anyway,
That's
that
your
was
vibe.
just a speculation I wanted to throw out there with that. But I think everybody's like champing at the bit for us to, or chomping at the bit rather, for us to get into this plastic and see if we're excited. I mean, like,
All right. So my main man Flint, is he a good jumping off point? Here we have his model sheet for the animation. And here we have, just taken from the video, a screen grab. It's a bit blurry, but yep, the shirt is not black. And I'm going to venture a guess that he's got, once again, painted face, painted neck, painted upper arms, painted forearms
does appear that
for
way.
the flesh tone.
Mm.
So that means I'm going to pass on this figure. Because I just got myself Super 7 Falcon, and I do not like it, boys, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Sorry, man. I was really hoping you would, because I'm quite a fan of him. So
The legs are too skinny. Look, there was an edict, I'm sure. In fact, I'm not sure. I know, because I've seen it somewhere. I just can't, for the life of me, remember where. That during ARR, the designers were cautioned against this. In fact, they were ordered never to do this in their designs, to have 2 painted surfaces articulate with each other. But Super 7 has no such edict, because that is a gloppy, fleshy paint interacting with a gloppy, fleshy paint.
I was gonna
Not only
loosen the paint.
that, well, I shouldn't have to. It's my point. Also, the fact that, like, yes, these things have rather precise engineering. For instance, the neck into the sort of torso halves. It's a very, if you make it a millimeter off, or even a fraction of a millimeter off, you can have a floppy head. But the paint adds a little bit of girth. So as a result, the two halves of my torso can't come together
Yeah.
flush.
Hmm.
Because the neck, courtesy of the paint, front and back and on the sides, the paint has given his neck just a fraction of a millimeter more thickness
Yeah,
than
that's pushing.
the tolerances. So, damn it.
Also, just to correct my statement earlier, I didn't mean that you would need to loosen the joints. I'm saying the paint in the joints is going to make the joints slippery over time. It's going to actually remove their bite. It's actually worse.
I think the paint is going to start to peel away.
Crack off. Yeah, then that's what's going to make it looser. I've seen it with Gundam.
Yeah, because it's tight now, but as the paint comes out, the joints will loosen up.
It's a thing that happens when we paint Gundam kits as well. If you paint the joints by accident in certain places, it makes them very loose. If there's paint rubbing
I guess
against
it's back to the OG for me, boys. Why did I ever
Yay.
even consider cheating on you, you beautiful, beautiful man?
I'm sure there will be
What an amazing figure.
The look. The
But
movie
okay,
look.
Anyway,
let's knock these
back
out
to
one at
the
a time.
toys at hand.
Back to a very Falcon-looking Flint. It'd be, if we're being honest with ourselves. What are we thinking, boys? Rob, you go first. You're a Flint guy.
Yeah, I mean, from this blurry image, I do like that we kind of get a different coloring for him that does match more his packaging look and also his look in the cartoon. And from this image,
Oh, they've repainted his shirt for the packaging. Make no bones about it. Like his original art has a black shirt.
Oh, okay. But anyway, he matches the current packaging art. He seems to come with his backpack. And he must. I'm sure he comes with the shotgun as well. So he comes with all the necessary accessories, which is great. And then I do like the coloring. But you do give me pause with this whole painted joints story.
And skinny legs.
And skinny legs. But that unfortunately that's a hallmark of Super 7s for the most part. They're O-ring figures. They all have skinny legs. It's just the way that they construct them. There is because they're based on the cartoons and because cartoons don't have super duper detailed stuff going on. They kind of do make them all very smooth and very up and down.
It's true.
Yeah.
Can't fault that reason.
So I'm worried, but I would like to see maybe unboxings of this guy to get a better idea of if he is worth getting. I'm excited to see him. Another version of Flint is a great thing.
Yeah, man. Paulie.
I'm on the 50-50 camp. While I'm excited that there's a Flint figure, I do need to see him in person. Like, this is not one of those sight unseen purchases for me. This is one where I need to look at the actual toy when we get the proper promotional shots. Then I can kind of scrutinize that a bit and make my decision from there. Because I like Flint, but I've got quite a few Flints in my collection. So yeah, this one has to be a good quality figure for me to drop the $25 on. That's the thing. Yeah.
Probably won't be out of the realm of possibility that if you look at the Ultimates version, just imagine that shrunken down to 3 3/4 inch. That's pretty much what they've replicated.
They've kind of gone with.
Yeah, they needn't have done any extra design work. Like, that was good to go. Just pop some rivets in instead of like having plastic joints.
Super 7
Rivets in an O-ring.
What I will say though is it's great that we get, because I mean we got we got Lady J very recently in the line, and it's great that they have followed her up with a Flint, so that we have a Lady J and a Flint Reaction Plus figure kind of pairing.
And we totally called that as GI Joburg. We did say, like, if Lady J is here, Flint is either next wave or the following.
He's coming. He's on his way.
He's already planned. So, Steve, that's also actually, now that you mentioned the painted joints thing, it's very possible that this Flint and Lady J were done at the same time with Falcon, and that's why they suffer from the same malady in terms of the design, the toy design. He
Whereas
might not be one of
Chuckles was
Yes.
Was it later on in the queue? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hold out hope that this is a kind of a dying trend because it does have some points of failure and is a further factor that pushes the Super 7 Reaction Plus stuff into a category of their own. Whereas a guy like me, I really am desperate for these things to integrate more seamlessly into my O-ring stuff.
No, definitely.
Yeah, but how do you like your Joe? Do you like this to be a separate shelf, or do you like it to find its way into your current collection? Everyone collects differently, and for some this won't be a big problem, but for me, it is.
Big problem.
Ooh,
Let's do a baddie next.
Yay!
Baroness.
I'm pretty sure I called this in the last episode.
Yeah,
Like,
you
if
did.
they're gonna be doing more Arctic and they Baroness? I'm pretty sure I said that.
Yeah, no, I can recall you mentioning it. You and I think when you and I were on the podcast, we were sort of chatting about this as well.
Yeah, we even talked about it. Yeah.
There's definitely a push to get a lot of the Arctic stuff out. I think just saying this now, Mindbender is the next one for sure. Now, here's a figure that I can pretty much buy sight unseen.
Wow.
Arctic Baroness has been a hole in my collection for a long time, and I have suffered many a bad Baroness figure from other GI Joe lines. That if she's good, I'll be very happy, but if she's average, it'll be like whatever. But now I've got an Arctic Baroness for my collection, so I'm full on with this one for myself personally. In fact, yeah, there we go, Rob. When we had the Arctic Destro, that's when we mentioned
you were
Arctic
like,
Baroness is around the
they
corner.
have to bring her out at some point.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, blurry images, but I think it should be quite good. My only worry, as always with these ones, it will be, have they done the same as what they did with Arctic Scarlet? That kind of like a flap thing going over her crotch area, limiting the articulation.
They have, but as a Arctic Scarlet owner, it's problematic for vehicles, definitely. But
that's a big minus.
Arctic Scarlet is okay. Now I feel like my credibility is shot because Steve doesn't like Falcon. But Arctic Scarlet for me is actually Chef's Kiss. She's really fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wonder I mean, does she then just come with the gun that she's pictured with on the packaging? I mean, I can't tell what is in that bubble.
It looks like it.
Yeah, in the bottom left-hand corner.
It appears so.
What?
So the weapon she has in that assault on the BET in the Himalayas it looks like a Desert Eagle. Very squared off, quite considerable gun in her hands.
Yeah.
So that's probably what they've gone with. But Super 7 have this tendency of kind of making the weapons look very simplified. And so it'll probably just look like a block, to be honest. I wouldn't be getting her because of her pistol. I'd probably swap that out. Much like I've swapped out Chuckles' pistol.
Yeah.
Toy noises.
But that's a lock for Paul.
Yeah, it's a lock
Yeah.
for me. Now we can have Arctic Scarlet and Arctic Baroness fist fight in the tundra.
Yeah, do a little
But Baroness, fortunately, Baroness's sort of coat comes up a lot higher than Scarlet's.
And Scarlet will fit
Paul's showing us his Scarlet, and it's quite a tunic, like it goes down to her knees almost. Whereas Baroness in this look always had more of a, I don't know, kind of a neater, higher.
And you can kind of, I mean, it seems like you can almost force a 90 degrees, but then the flap at the back kind of obviously compensates for that, but would probably make a ride very high in a vehicle. But if you do compare the pictures, the Baroness's one does seem to end a little bit higher because it has that frill on it.
Yeah.
It seems more sculpted than it is soft.
And another thing to note, this head of the Baroness is not encumbered by any kind of headgear. So unlike Arctic Scarlet's, you can expect to see this head reused for Baroness's regular look.
Yes.
Which it's only a matter of time before we get that too. What was that about Super 7 Reaction Plus giving us stuff we don't already have, Brian Flynn? I don't know, man. You're dancing all over that line, my friend. Anyway, that's fine.
But that face, so far, her head shots or her face in this pack shot, I'm talking about the action figure, not the artwork, to me is already looking promising. I love the glasses already, and I like that I can see eyebrows and the pursed lips. It's looking good. looking.
Yeah.
Potentially also transparent lenses to those glasses.
Well, Scarlett's got transparent goggles, so
All right.
mm.
All right. Next up, let's flip back to the goodies.
Whoa.
The good
It's
guy.
Shippy in his pea coat
So
from the Weather Dominator. You know,
Yeah.
the one where they're kind of like
Yes.
shooting the ion correlate or whatever that disc-shaped energy unit is.
Well, I suppose Super 7 didn't want to be outdone by Classified in their brown shipwreck. So like let's give O-ring fans a variation of shipwreck. And this one I feel is more welcome.
oh yeah.
I quite enjoyed this variation on him. To kind of have him in the kind of more not formal, but kind of like more cold weather gear. Because it is kind of close to giving us kind of like an Arctic shipwreck. They are kind of dressing up all the figures a lot more, it seems.
It is cool.
And what a record number of accessories. My goodness.
Yeah.
A poly,
Yeah, I feel like
an anchor.
This is why all the other figures don't have accessories.
The
So
shipwreck
that you
with
can
them
have
all.
them.
And it also it looks like a mount for Polly as well that you can clip to his shoulder or his wrist or his forearm.
Oh, is
should I
that what
say.
that is?
It feels like that's
That
what it
could
is.
be it, yeah.
Yeah. And a cigar?
Do you think
Who
so?
knows?
No, I don't think so. But like, I mean, it's some kind of clip or pin or something that's in there. But
Yeah.
I
Good luck to anyone getting that out of the packaging.
yeah, well, just do what just do the smart thing and cut them out of the packaging. Just cut the sides. and let it
Just
loosen
ruin
out.
the packaging.
Yeah, screw it. You're gonna throw it away anyway. I'm talking about the
Oh.
clamshell part. The actual artwork part is cool.
Of course.
This is a toy I didn't know I wanted until I saw it, and
Whoa.
like a cool thing about this is when this image was announced was released, I did catch a little bit of a news bit where somebody had like looked at the images like very closely and sort of done the whole CSI thing and gone, there's a shipwreck in there somewhere.
Whoa.
And it turns out this guy was right. And I mean, if you look at it, you're like, wow, it really is this guy really scoured this image. So yeah, I'm just very pleasantly surprised that that rumor turned out to be true. And I didn't know that I wanted a shipwreck and peacoat until we got him. And yeah, he's great. Also, not a bad thing to have all of this stuff timed for American winter. As you're going to have a whole bunch of Arctic GI Joes and Cobras for play in the snow for this year for the Americans. So that's quite cool as well, I think. Just, not,
Yeah, man, it's always winter somewhere in the world, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's spring or autumn.
Then it isn't winter.
Winter's coming. Winter's always coming. He's got skinny legs again, guys, and the peacoat is not a peacoat. They've given him full articulation. So I guess, if Super 7 was in the habit of listening to its critics and then kind of correcting its course based on those criticisms, we're seeing that. Like, I was a proponent of saying, like, you know what, in typical O-rings, we didn't have any kind of skirt or any kind of piece that went down towards the thighs. We would limit the jacket to the extent of the torso. And that includes the crotch piece. And they've done that here. They've extended the jacket so that it goes down over the crotch piece, but not as a secondary, as a sculpted kind of additional lip. And it's an interesting look. We've seen it with Iceberg, but Iceberg had a lot more sort of beltage, to kind of blouse his jacket into. Here is a very smooth jacket.
It's the articulation point almost breaks the jacket basically.
I would have wanted him to have a bit more coat, like the Arctic Scarlet.
Yeah,
like I don't need him to sit in a vehicle.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say the same thing. It's cool that they're listening to us, but the toy, the actual...
Super 7 can't win. First we're telling them, please don't extend these things. Then we're telling them, please extend them.
No, it is problematic, but...
we want them in vehicles. No, we don't want them in vehicles.
But Scarlet...
Well, they've shown us what can be done with with Arctic Destro or with Arctic Scarlet. They've shown us that they can look so good. You just have to sacrifice the functionality.
It's an impressive piece of design, of toy design and toy engineering that has gone into making Scarlett's coat work, I feel. But alas, here we
He
are.
looks too like high ranking with a sort of double-breasted jacket that isn't a coat, you know?
Mm.
Like this doesn't look fun. This looks like he's wearing a blazer.
It kind of does. He looks more almost like a keel haul, I guess, in a way.
Hey, I'm all for it. I just want to see that face sculpt a bit better. Not that
Sure.
I wasn't going to click buy anyway, but you know, I mean, it's Shipwreck, and like, Steve, like, I know that the legs might be skinny, but at least you know that from what I can tell, it doesn't. It looks like his face is painted. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it's a bad thing. So we're gonna see it, you know. But maybe this one like sways you over a little bit. In a few months' time, Steve will be like, "Oh, you know what? I want me a peacoat Shipwreck." So
Well, giving him some cold weather gear does extend the figure's use a bit because he always did have exposed. You know, he's wearing short sleeves, and like, let's face it, guys, naval operations are not always in the tropics. Like, he will often be in need of some cold weather gear when he's working on deck or, you know, skating along an ice floe trying to secure a piece of the weather dominator. Like, and the fact that it comes with a poly which can attach to the figure potentially, I don't know. We haven't seen the functionality of that yet, but it's nice to give poly an upgrade.
yeah, science
sure.
point to yes though.
I guess.
I want to
But-
put it in this episode when they do
Yeah?
the standard release of Shipwreck, you know, like down the line. I've got a feeling we're not going to get that anchor, and that we're going to only get his gun.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, actually, good point, Paul. The artwork conspicuously has nothing in his right hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No gun.
it's they very much airbrushed that gun out. He's just making.
I shake my fist at you. So shit, he does not come with his percussion pistol.
Yeah,
The odds is anything to go by. It's
Yeah.
just this anchor. Okay.
So
yeah.
let's
The
see.
draw
Well-
here is the variation. It's the outfit. You know,
Yeah.
like that's what they're selling this on. Is the outfit, not the accessories so much.
Oof, this is so clever for Super 7. Give us all the Arctic versions, which are essentially like the teasers and the testers, and they're going to get all the feedback they want from it. I mean, Arctic Scarlet has got Scarlet's legs, you know?
For
So we
sure.
Yeah.
know that when
The thing
Scarlet
is, they are
couples-
trying to give us stuff that we haven't had before.
That's
before
true.
They, I suppose, start giving us the stuff that we've.
But they're
already had.
sneaking in all these little Easter eggs, and they're going, hey, you know, so like we're so
We
committed.
could do that if you'd stop giving us shit about, you know, making stuff that you've already had before. We'll definitely make all the stuff for you.
It's an unstoppable juggernaut. No, as I said, they dance all over that line, and I'm here for it. Like, you can pick what flavor of O-ring collection you want to get out of these guys. You want to get updates of all your classics? Well, they're going to do it. This collection is getting big, boys.
Mm.
Equally so is the Tiger Force aspect of it. Now,
Yeah.
Jinx, she's been hanging out with Falcon a lot because why? She's switched over her weapons for his. She seems to have, in her Tiger Force guise, Falcon's radio backpack and his shotty.
Yeah, clever. But no katana, which is so strange.
No. Neither did her original release either.
Yeah, that's
She came with a sort of snapped in half, what are they, pugil
practice
sticks? Is
stuff.
that what you call them?
Yeah, yeah. I just call it practice stuff because of the adjusting stick or whatever it's called. Yeah, from Gladiators, that's all I know.
So they've
Yeah.
diverted from the Tiger Force Jinx that I know and love, which is the sort of Battle Cat cringer
Full
deco.
green with stripes, yeah.
And it ain't bad. She's got a black tunic, whatever it is, gi. What do you call that? The jacket.
Yeah, it's doggy green. I mean, it's her
Doggy,
doggy,
woggy,
her gi. Yeah.
hoggy.
With the sort of the piping and the sash picked out in green, and the dragon is now a silver or like a gunmetal gray.
No visibility.
It's shiny, it's nice. Yes, but what is definitely not low visibility are her fabulous tiger pants.
Tiger pants.
Yeah,
Gonna
I like
dance, gonna
I like
dance.
that
Gonna dance in my tiger pants. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or should I say, hiya?
Yeah. Rob, do you like the pants?
I was gonna say something, but now I've forgotten.
Oh,
Yeah, they kind of, yeah. She looks
tiger
good.
pants all over your thing. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That was more funny.
No
than me just
visible
saying something.
feet to her footwear. She seems to be wearing closed shoes. Thank goodness. They're not slippers anymore.
Yeah. Apparently, she can wear normal shoes.
And the move to having a shotgun, boys, not a very ninja thing to
No.
use, to wield.
No.
Yeah,
She's
that's
out in the jungle
very-
and she's leading the infantry patrol, and so she's got to be up front with some serious firepower.
I guess, but like, she's like, what her backstory is. What she's basically Snake as a student or Storm Shadow's student, and her background is that she is a ninja. She doesn't have military background.
No. No,
She's got
there on the
rank.
friend. Yeah,
She
she's
has
on
a
the friends
rank,
and
but I
family
mean that's
plan.
just they gave it to her essentially as kind of like an honorary rank, I guess. But like she has no military background, which means she doesn't necessarily have training in any firearms. So giving her a firearm is kind of like it's kind of weird.
Well,
Doesn't
she's got
really
no
make-
Probably
government.
why they
training
gave her the
firearm.
That's why they gave her the shotgun. It's
Oh.
kind of the boomstick is a dumb
Shoot
weapon,
and forget. Yeah, you just aim it in the general direction of an enemy.
but it's a rather unfinessed weapon for a ninja. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it just speaks to the fact that she's adaptable, and her extremely hardcore training regimen means that she can.
Yeah,
pick
she
up
could
and
pick up a
adapt to
gun if she
anything.
wanted to. But you know what I actually really don't like about this figure?
Mm.
It doesn't come with a blindfold.
Teed that one up perfect.
Oh, Rob.
Oh, Rob.
There's no blindfold.
Well,
I
Stephen,
mean, how is she supposed to shoot people with the seeing ear? You know, if she can see. You know?
the ear that you mean the ear that sees.
Yeah, that one.
Your eyes
Rob-
can deceive you. Don't trust them.
Like, so this is the thing. I'm excited that we're getting Tiger Force Jinx.
Mm.
I am
Again.
not me personally. I'm not like blown away by the toy itself. I'm more excited by the fact that the toy exists. But in our like sort of deconstruction of it, I'm also sitting here going, Jinx with a backpack and a shotgun. Is that the kind of fun I want to have with my Tiger Force Jinx? And you know, Steve, you reminded me that she did have the Battle Cat look. Kind of would have liked that here personally as
I don't
well.
know. I like that they've made her. It's black and it's orange. Like for me, that is traditionally what Tiger Force is. And
Mhm.
like a green and black, it does to me that never felt like Tiger Force. Like
Okay.
yes, often when you do have those kind of variations in the Tiger Force, when they aren't kind of sporting in some way the black and the orange, they
Mhm.
feel less Tiger Forcey to me
Okay.
personally. So actually, I feel like this is a big improvement over that original look. But I think the accessories are a huge de-improvement.
I would have gone
Here's
full
to
orange.
hoping that they call. Here's to hoping they
Mm.
call it out in the file card that she's taken up a position in this jungle warfare team, and
Yeah.
I don't know who's leading this iteration of Tiger Force. I suppose it's Duke now. What it always was Duke, but like Flint hasn't made an appearance in this iteration yet. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duke is the de facto boss man, and he's like, "Ninja girl on my team. Here, have a shotgun."
Yeah. Well, it's
And
a way
man
of
the radio.
training
I
her.
mean, woman the radio. Ah.
It's a
Person
way
the
of training-
radio.
She's learning new skills, I guess, you know. But then I feel like if you're gonna give this female figure that you're putting into the Tiger Force weapons, like a shotgun and stuff, maybe you make it a different female character. Maybe I don't know, cover girl Tiger Force variant, or a
she's too busy glowing in the dark.
Lady J or something, you know.
Look, maybe we're overthinking this because
We might be.
now I just bring into everyone's attention the fact that Tiger Force Duke didn't come with an XMLR, didn't come with a backpack, didn't come with anything I'm going to say appropriate. He came with like a freaking gladiator sword.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Oh,
Oh,
they give
maybe
him
that's
things
what
as
they're
accessory.
doing. Yeah, they're like, look, here's accessories. Just swap them out, and then the characters will have their appropriate accessories.
That's actually so true, Steve. Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
a
I
very
forgot about
interesting
that.
move on their part.
anyway, I think we can move on
From Jinx.
to the main event and the most interesting
Ooh.
wild card of this forthcoming wave. I've got a good picture of it here. Boom. The
Snake armor.
Oh my word.
Oh, of
That's-
course
They've
that's
done
that.
it, ladies and gentlemen. They've put a vehicle onto a bubble.
They've done it. And
yeah,
yeah, guys, Rob, go.
kind of cool, I think. From what I can see from this, I mean, it's a very good image. This image, actually, this is the clearest image of any of these I think we've had. It's not an armor anymore, because if you look at the shoulders, those are clearly rivet joints.
Yeah.
So this is no longer a vehicle; it is literally a figure of snake armor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think you can put a figure in this.
I think you can, actually.
Whoa.
I have a feeling you can.
Okay. So do you think, I mean, they just adjusted the way the shoulders work to give them more articulation?
Yeah, because
Like,
when you
it's
put
still yeah.
when you put a Joe in your snake armor, for those
What
who
happens?
don't know, the Joe's arms don't go into the snake armor's arms. They just
Yeah, it never
sort of stay
did.
at its
Yeah,
side.
it just
Yeah.
it kind of just fitted that there's kind of like T joints or whatever. It kind
Yeah.
of like sandwiched onto them.
I don't think Arctic Scarlet is gonna fit in the snake armor.
Oh, she'll never fit in there. You won't be able
But-
to brainwash her using
No,
this snake
exactly.
armor.
Not with those. Not
Or
with
any
that coat.
snake armor, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd have to see it outside of the packaging to be sure that it can still fit a figure in.
Mm.
So I don't know how you would have adjusted those shoulder joints, because does it still come apart the same way, or maybe it kind of flips open in the back and you kind of fit the figure in, or from the front. Maybe there's like a hinge. Maybe it hinges upwards.
Yeah, that's
and
what
then you
I
kind of
want to.
slip the figure in.
So that's the clarity I need on this. It's like we
Yeah.
kind of got a partial shot of it from the top.
Ooh.
In the card in the rack, but
Yeah,
we
it's
can't
very
see
blurry,
if there's
though.
any kind of split, or it's difficult to tell if there's a seam or not, or if there's a little door or hinge at
Yeah,
the back.
how it opens. Like, does it still open the same way it used to? I feel like it doesn't.
Also, further
There's
evidence.
Mm.
Oh, sorry. Further evidence to support that this might be marketing, by the way, is that we haven't been shown the backs of the cards at all. No file cards, no instructions, nothing. So Cobra Battlesuit Rock Disguise. Okay.
That also trips me up. What in the bubble gives it that rock disguise? Is the back gonna have rock detailing, a la its appearance in Mass Device?
Ah.
Here you go. Here you go. Here's a procession of images for anyone watching the YouTube. Ooh, what's in this cave? Oh, what's that? Is it a rock? No, it's not. It's the
Is it a
snake. I
cobot?
think the Joes call it Cobra Robot Defenders or Enforcers or something. Like, there's no speak of it being armor or it
Yeah.
possessing a sort of an occupant. Like, the Joes treat these as autonomous robots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exterminate.
So that, I mean, that could speak towards kind of my suggestion that it might actually not be able to
Open
hold
at
the
all.
figure inside it.
Yeah. Hey, I mean,
But there's no sculpting of like rock to the back of this one. So the fact that it's called a rock disguise, I don't know, that seems erroneous.
that looks like, see in the back there behind its left shoulder, there seems to be like some kind of accessory there. It might
I'm
be.
gonna say those are attachments.
Yeah, those are
for
the hands. So those are replacement hands. I think
Agreed.
it still comes with all four of them. I think it came with
Agreed.
four.
Agreed.
Mhm.
But there's something about that to me that makes it look like there's a roll or something there of
Okay.
material. Like maybe it's a roll.
Oh, do you think maybe they?
Yeah, maybe
That's
it's something
that's
like that.
kind of extreme on for them, I think. Like to
Because
include an entire rolled up thing that you kind of unfurl, and how do you even attach that to the back of the figure then?
I'm sure we're gonna find out if it is the case. But I mean, like again, it just like if you look at it in this shot as well, it looks like it's a roll. Like it doesn't. Do you see how it looks? How it's wrapping on the right hand side there at the top? it just, I don't know. Maybe it's just an optical illusion and it's just designed for the
It could
attachment that's
be,
there.
yeah.
But
So the one on the off his left shoulder.
of his
Yeah.
left shoulder, stage
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that one,
Yeah.
yeah. It's possible, but yeah, I mean, with the plastic, because there's so much plastic in the way, it does distort the image.
Mm.
I guess we're gonna have to wait.
Zooming out
see.
from speculation on what it
Mm,
has in the package and what its function is,
yeah.
are you guys enticed to getting this? Do we all have snake armors, the classic
Yeah.
ones?
We do
I've
in
got
one way
one.
or another.
I got a I got a 50th anniversary one,
Repro.
30th anniversary one. I've got a black one, which is a Target exclusive. Very nice gift from a Bergforce member when we were in the States. And then I've got a classic white armor one as well. Vintage.
Wonderful,
So,
wonderful.
so nice.
Yeah, I would need to see this. I need to know more because I am curious.
I'm also
I mean, I
50-50 on
don't
this.
know
Yeah.
if it. I don't know what if it is an action figure. I don't know if that changes my opinion of it. You know, if it doesn't open up like a classic one does. Like I don't know what that means yet.
Can you give some inclinations to like what your thinking is?
Which direction I'd go in? I feel like if it doesn't open up, it makes it less appealing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
because I mean the thing is, like, we've been harping on the whole episode, and we've always said this: they have very thin legs, which makes it actually easier to get presumably any of the Super 7 Joes in there that don't have a skirt on into this thing, which would actually make it way easier to design this sort of thing to fit them, because then the tolerances of the holes inside don't have to be super duper wide for the leg section. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see.
But it's exciting that they made it.
Yeah.
I think we should vote. We should speculate right now. Is
Okay.
this a action figure or is this an armor? By action figure, I mean, is this possessing O-ring construction? So those legs have limited posability to them. Those arms are also like, a classic GI. Like there's an O-ring inside and there's a back screw inside.
Yeah.
So the only separating of the torso that you can achieve is to open her up to change the
Take it
O-ring.
apart,
You will
yeah.
not be able to put a figure inside it. So let's right now cast your votes, boys. Who's saying it's an armor? Who's saying it's an action figure?
Well, I say action figure.
Paul?
I've just seen something in the last 5 minutes that also supports that action figure.
Whoa.
I think I know what you mean. I'm going to also
Ooh.
say action figure. And Paul, I'm going to call your bluff. What is tipping your hand there?
So the picture that we're showing on screen now has got the arms. It's got a front view of it, but we can see a little bit of the side. And the thickness of the arms looks to be the same thickness as the body. Should I say width as the body? And I don't think we can fit a figure in there. That spacing is too small.
Oh, inside the body itself.
Yeah, it tells me that the cavity is too small. And also, yeah.
I might have a slightly more high-res image in front of me, boys, but if I push in on the thighs, those are two thighs that are... The seam runs vertically along the front of the thigh and not the side.
Yes.
So with that seam in mind, that's a classic thigh construction of an O-ring figure. You'd have a screw going into the inner thigh to join those the inner and outer thigh pieces together.
Okay, and then we assume it articulates at the knees with the giant boots.
Yeah, it's knees, inverted commas, yeah.
So it kind of, I don't think it articulates. Do we think it actually does bend, or do we just think it moves?
I don't think it bends. I think it swivels.
Yeah, swiveling.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think that is some strong evidence for being an action figure.
So there is a T hook in there somewhere, and perhaps an O-ring too. Yeah. Well, then you could probably put these snake arms onto your Falcon action figure, and there you go. Hey, presto. Problem solved.
I'm also curious then.
They know painted forearms here. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I'm curious about the pricing then. Because, I mean, what's his name? Mustafa and the Fatal Fluffy, were they priced?
Don't be curious.
It's
priced exactly the same as the other O-ring figures.
Okay.
So Ramal... Yeah.
400,000 rupiah, which is
Mm.
that's $25.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What was Ruminar? Was he also 25?
Yeah, Ramar was 20. Well, actually, Ramar was $20. He was $19.
Yeah, that was back before
Okay,
the
that's back
price
And
thing.
so
then.
was the Fatal Fluffy. Yeah.
Okay, so they're all
But if
still
you-
priced.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you compare, we got Shipwreck's price tag here, that's also 400,000
same.
rupiah.
Okay, so you're not paying more
No.
for that. I was just
Thank goodness.
concerned.
That is actually that's quite an ace play there. I'm quite impressed with that.
Yeah, keeping the price the same.
Way better than charging people like $100 for 3 glow in the dark. For 4 glow in the dark Ninja Turtles, and what $80 for 3 glow in the dark Joes.
Well,
This
the
is
Joe's
right.
was 75, at
shows-
least on Super 7.
Mm.
Well, we see here like a distinct difference in the way Hasbro's playing this to the way Super 7's playing this.
Mm.
Because Hasbro's pricing is all over the place with classified, like a 2-pack, a deluxe pack, a pack with animal, like these spurious little definition or distinctions between action figure pricings. They don't have one size fits all. It is all over the map. Here with Super 7, yes, sure, we can criticize them for giving us a figure that literally has one accessory in the bubble, and they're still charging $25 for it. But this, my friends, is a big lump of plastic, and it's not priced at a premium at all. Well,
Yeah.
it's the same
least-
premium as anyone else.
They're matching. I mean, raw figures were. I don't remember, but I assume they all cost the same. You know.
Well, yeah,
single
Stalker
figure
with a
on the
kayak
thing.
will cost exactly the same as, Iceberg with a rifle.
Yeah. No, exactly. So at least they're
Adjusted for
matching that
inflation.
energy. You know.
Remembering that I paid between $12 and $15 for most of my Pursuit of Cobra figures. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy, eh?
I
Different
Good old days.
times.
different times.
So a very interesting bag of figures. This wave is kind of like, yeah, all over the place. But they're also trying new things. I mean, if that Snake Army is an action figure, that's very interesting. I don't know if that makes me want to get it or not, but it's fascinating that they did it. You know, they kind of went in that direction to kind of give people a snake armor that is just, a robot essentially. And they're playing with the scaling of the O-Ring's figure. You know, they're not just trying to produce the exact same figures all the time. You know, as we said, with Ruminar and the Fatal Fluffies and stuff like that. They're not afraid to play with trying new things with the O-Ring construction. And
I think that's where Super 7's real sweet spot is. That is entirely something new. Not only a new character, but a new dimension for an O-Ring figure.
yeah,
Arar, we were married to the same buck for like 99% of action figures. Super
Yeah.
7 is giving us the freedom of like a bigger figure is not outside the realm of possibility. Hell,
Yeah.
even a vehicle can be turned into a figure for the purposes of this line. Guys, we have one
Fascinating.
more Super 7 O-Ring figure to talk about, and it's
Oh.
actually in hand with Chris McLeod of Full Force Podcast.
Dun,
He shared
dun.
images of his Arctic Snake Eyes
Yeah.
from GI Joe issue number 2. This is the comic, I'm going to call it 1-pack. We had
With
in
the comic.
the O-Ring construction, we had comic 3-packs. Then when they moved over to modern construction, they became comic 2-packs. And now in Super 7's
Oh my
10-year,
gosh.
it's a comic 1-pack.
Inflation.
But for $30, you're getting a reaction figure, exclusive figure to the set, and you're getting a reprint of issue 2 of GI Joe, Panic at the North Pole.
Mm.
And it comes in a fun little box, quite a unique little presentation. What do we think of the figure, boys?
So I dig it actually. And I
Yeah,
can't believe I'm saying that.
It's kind of fun. Obviously, because they're trying to go for a comic book look of it, it is very low on the details. I mean, they kind of opt the colors. It's kind of like, it's almost like an Andy Warhol Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Kind of these exceptionally bright colors, very, very little detailing. It's interesting. But
just like the
personally,
Quinn
because
stuff.
he has that skirt on,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he represents a character that is meant to be outside and in the snow. I don't know. I always fight against anything that kind of prevents my action figures from moving. as freely as any of the other ones do.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned, that's a concession I'm willing to make on certain
Yeah.
figures. This one in particular, I think this is so tied to the theming. I like that he's got Quinn's necklace. I like that it's technically Quinn's gun, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong here, guys.
I refuse to correct.
No, it's. I mean, I could pull up the comic, and I might just do it. Yeah, the weapon that Snake Eyes uses is a little bit
Well, you
all
can
over
see
the
his
map.
weapon on the cover. He's
For the
holding his
most part,
weapon on
he's
the
got
cover.
an Uzi, but then
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
once in every while, we have images of him with something else,
Right.
You see,
looking
this
like
is,
something else.
to me, this is less of an action figure than it is like an art piece.
Yeah.
Because it comes with the cover, it's meant to represent a physical representation of something inside the comic. So for me, this is less for play than it is to just be a piece that you put on the shelf and
A
say,
cool
"Hey,
display piece.
cool,
Okay.
look, this is it's like it's the comic come to life." And I suppose for me, at least in that way, it's less appealing because it's more of like an art piece than it is something you play with.
Okay.
Correction, guys. Snake Eyes exclusively uses his Uzi in issue 2.
Yeah.
What we see in him wield here, it looks like an M249,
Mm.
I think. You know, this sort of standard squad automatic weapon, like military, like U.S. Army weapon, without a stock. I don't know where that's pulled from.
Yeah, it just feels like a
Curious.
tribute to Quinn.
Quinn has his air-cooled 30 cal,
Yeah,
so
like
not this.
it looks similar to it, like it's got like a similar kind of vibe to it, but I'm glad I asked the question because I'm sure a lot of guys maybe wanted to ask the question and didn't.
Yeah,
or
and we're just
assumed they knew.
afraid to ask, because they didn't want to seem,
Listen, for
silly.
$30, you're getting a comic book. You're getting what I think is a cool and a unique Snake Eyes, which has been done once before, actually in the 25th anniversary. And yeah, he comes with a backpack as well. So there's some fun to be had here with him. I think we also we're getting a snapshot of a later figure's Arctic gear as well. So there's also that.
Hang on. This just pinged something in my memory. Because
Word.
issue 2 was penciled by Don Perlin.
Yes.
And Don Perlin also did the backup issue in issue 1. And in that issue, Scarlet is pinned down. She's got an automatic weapon. She's laying down a lot of fire. Is it not that gun? Nah. This is a mystery, and I don't think I can solve it within this issue or this episode of GI Joburg. But I'll just, for
Join us
anyone
next time.
curious, this
Put a comment
is
in there.
Scarlet with a machine gun.
Oh, wow, that's a proper. Wow, that's a.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a fantastical
intense-
design. I think Don has pulled from the German MG or the MG1. He's also got lots of different things going on there.
It's a whole thing. But anyway,
whole
so
hand is
Paul
in the
seems
trigger
excited
guard.
for this. Stephen, what is your opinion on this this piece of art?
Well, let's get back to the Snake Eyes. Look, these comic things are never gonna ring my bell. For the simple reason that it's out of step with the aesthetics that I pursue for my collection. Like, I do have the O-ring version of this inspired design. So it uses swivel head, sort of version 1 or version 1.5 Snake Eyes' head, and then puts it on Snowjob's body, but then does the tunic in black or like a dark gray. They also did a modern era version, which I also have.
Yeah, that's the one I know.
It's either gray or black, and then green pants. And that, I think, is a more accurate color palette. Here they've done is Superman's hair blue or is it black? Blue for black. Blue
Yes.
kind of reading as black on a comic book page doesn't work so well in an action figure with flat color and no shading. Like, if this was, if that did some kind of cell shading effect to this, that would be more interesting. But right now it's just a whole big block of blue. And not how I see Snake Eyes ever, really. Unless we're
Fair
talking about
enough.
version 4, but that's not a block of blue. That's blue with other things going on.
It's gonna sound like such a cop-out now, but as much as I like it, and as much as I like the price, it's not something I'm gonna buy. Because it's not like in parallel to Steve in this case, I would get something like this for myself if it is the comic moment that I want it to be, or the exact comic representation of a figure that I want it to be, and that is, that is I think that is such a small target to hit for me personally, but they've done their research and they know that this is going to resonate with a bunch of folks. So I hope that this does well, because I'd like to
Yeah,
see.
good for them. I hope it finds its market for sure. But I hope they become, but with the confusion that we've kind of had in discussing this, like where the gun comes from, the choice of colors, hopefully they get better at it as they go along.
Yeah.
And those goggles are way big, man.
I don't know. I like the head. Actually,
I'm here for that as
like
well.
the oversizedness, the sizedness of the goggles. It's kind of fun.
Gucci.
Gives them a very unique look. But yeah, so that was the mystery Super 7 wave that's coming up. That's somehow dropped, and apparently, according to conspiracy theorists, it's secret marketing for these toys.
Thank you for all the uncredited image providers. People actually taking pictures and videos of this stuff and not putting up their hands and saying, "Hey, I did the thing." It's been very, very shared and reposted, and the original poster has been buried. Guys, do we have moment for one more section to this podcast?
I believe we do.
Bumper episode.
But before we jump into that, Steve, sorry man, I just wanted to say I hope that we could offer some different insights to everybody else with regards to these figures. Like, if we did, let us know in the comments. That would be cool to know. And
you can always count on GI Joburg being the kind of guys to pump the brakes on just blindly buying everything.
100%.
Giving you pause for thought, your wallet says thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
And now I can let go of the balloon and let Steve fly.
Oh, right. So I like to do a little section, a little collaboration week to week, because I was gifted some amazing swag from Quality Joe's and my buddy Dan. And this week in Quality Joe's will change GI Joburg's mind, the new segment. What do we have to say about the Coastal Defender?
Oh my god.
The original Portaloo.
Wow. It really is just a box.
Hey, look at that. It's got wood paneling. It is a trailer.
That's great.
It is really good. Amazing attention to detail.
I hope
when you open it up, it's a shit shop. So
okay, it does open up. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yes, we'll get into that.
I'm being cheeky now. But, I mean, you expect that from GI Joe. From that era of GI Joe, that high detail. I mean, that's the stuff that wins you over, right? Like that gets you over. Like, it doesn't matter how crap the vehicle is. One of us wants a battle barge now.
But having something else to tow is wonderful.
And something quite inconspicuous. Like, this is just a box. It's a container. It could contain supplies. It could contain
parachutes,
secret weapons.
Yeah, anything really.
It's an essential piece of just battlefield kibble. You'd have this parked at an airfield, or you could even have this on your flag deck, or any number of dios could have just a GI Joe trailer.
Yeah, without even opening it, it has a lot of uses.
Stagecoach.
And you said it, the details are terrific. It is a towable piece. And it's not a towable piece that has 50 missiles hanging off it and guns and whatnot. It can be very low key. But that's where the praise train comes to a shuddering halt.
Ah,
Because
he's still alive, folks.
let's go for the jugular. So it's a towable system that has 4 wheels instead of 2. The problem is the tow hitch bar. It doesn't articulate in any way. So unless you have a vehicle of exactly the right height off the ground, 2 of these 4 wheels are going to be not making contact. It'll either be too high or too low. So
Yeah,
there's
that is
that.
a bit of a problem.
There's a mystery to this, which I did the research, right? I.e., I went onto 3D Joe's and heard the Guy Cassidy interview clip where he says his original concept for this was way bigger. And if so, that would make a hell of a lot more sense because it's got this back ramp, right? It's clearly a ramp, but it is not well sized for access because, there's not a doorway there. Just for reference, it's the size of a figure next to this thing. If this figure was half the size, it would make sense as a back ramp, as would these jerry cans, which are so clearly sculpted.
That's crazy. With the figure next to it, yeah, it looks completely out of scale. Because you wouldn't even need a ramp. Like, you just step up.
Mm-hmm.
Just step
That's
up.
clearly a design hangover from when this thing was twice as large.
Yeah.
But this is also a transformable piece.
Transformers.
Now, yeah, your first thought will run to Transformers, multiple mode toys. But whereas Transformers are engineered with tolerances to allow transformation back and forth and back, GI Joe has more of a sort of a model kit approach. So to make that into a transformable piece, oh boy, every time I do it, it's bloody hair raising, let me tell you. I mean,
Bloody hair
you're always likely to clip, snap a few clips in any kind of process of transformation. But let's see if I can do this.
Well, at least
for the
people
folks
get to
back
see you
home.
do it on camera. So.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, okay. I think first up, you rip open these sides. Click.
There we go.
To reveal
The
a
shooting
stunning
gallery.
amount of clobber. And here's another problem, a concession, because this thing had to be shrunk to make a sort of lower price point, I guess. These bits and pieces need to kind of be just thrown in there loosely so you can kind of pull them out and put them where they need to go. Like, I think the intention would have been for the seat to be in place, even when this thing is folded up. But because they had to shrink it down, they couldn't achieve that. Anyway, we continue our unfolding of this puzzle box. Oh, crap. Everything spills out. Yeah, there we go. So that untabs. And the whole thing kind of just concertinas onto itself. You've got a radar dish on the top. And you can slide your seat into place. Missiles pop onto these brackets. It's kind of sole armament and sole reason for existing, I guess. That and the fact that it might be a commode. I don't know. What do you think?
It's such a basic thing. It's absolutely crazy. It's just a seat. He's literally sitting with his back against this tiny little wall and this tiny little ceiling. And he has 4 missiles, and as long as you've parked him in the correct direction, he might be of some use to you.
Look, I've got huge love for these kind of sentry positions and just the variety that you get. Like, someone could be beside the air defense and someone can be beside the MMS or the mountain howitzer we spoke about 2 weeks ago in one of these Change My Mind sections. The coastal defender, man, it was handicapped out the starting gate, unfortunately. I think as a more substantial piece with like a whole bank of like seats and computer sections, like this could be a great like GI Joe surveillance port, basically.
Yeah.
One ups the surveillance port by being a towable emplacement.
Yeah,
But
I feel like this
as it
thing
stands,
it's
it's just a convenient way to make sneak peek completely disappear. Just like, Bye-bye. This poor gormless action figure.
It really
I'm not a
is.
sneaky fan.
It's completely mistreated by the fact that it's so small. Like it doesn't feel right. It feels so wrong that you just have this little guy. He's just like, okay, guys, I'm going to the coastal defender. Oh well, see you later, I guess.
It's totally a punishment. Honestly,
It really is.
Falcon
Extreme duty.
is on the box arts. Like if they in GI Joe the movie had said, "I sentence you to the slaughterhouse," instead of that they said, "I sentence you to coastal defender duty," like
Yeah.
no one would have batted an eyelid. It's like, yeah, this
Yeah.
is totally a punishment.
Because there's like no protection, like from the elements, really. Like that little roof, that's not going to keep you dry. And then like the electronics of that little seat as well. I mean, like it has to be exceptionally hardy to kind of survive outdoor use. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool concept, but the way that they realized it, it's awful.
Yeah. As I say, a trailer that has a sort of an interior cavity that you can kind of position action figures inside, multiple action
Yes.
figures with computers, and with like, okay, this does have a kind of a battle mode. You can fold it back up and have the missiles poking out the top.
Mm.
You know, that gives you a hint of what the added functionality would have been if it was given its full size treatment. But as it stands, it's a fun GI Joe branded box that turns into a mini emplacement, and like I guess it didn't cost that much back in the day.
Yeah, so it's kind of like just a little value add.
Yeah.
But I feel like that you can actually get more use out of it when it's just a box.
As a box.
Actually,
Yeah.
like just ignore the fact that it becomes this funny little room,
Mm.
freestanding structure. I think that its power is in that an inconspicuous box. It adds something,
Yeah.
an extra detail to anywhere that you might be playing with your toys.
You can't always be the Sky Striker or the Mobat. Like sometimes you are really just, you can't always be the rock star. You sometimes just have to have the toy that, just does a very basic function.
Yeah,
I am so in love with the world building elements of GI Joe now. Like I've got all the big stuff. Now I want.
yeah. But all
these
that
things.
early stuff where they did add a lot of things that weren't necessarily, the rock stars. It's wonderful that the designers at the time did think in that bigger picture, where they wanted to add towables. They wanted to add these little structures that you could play with alongside your bigger vehicles. I mean, and also like functional stuff like the APC, like that does hold all your figures, but it isn't necessarily the frontline vehicle that you're kind of throwing out there.
A good example of that is the Road Toad.
Oh, yeah.
Watch this space.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've come around on that vehicle quite a lot. I mean, since Bart gave me one, I was quite vocal in my dislike.
Sorry, I'm not
and my
going to
ridicule
transform
for-
this again.
Nah, leave it.
But I've
Terrified
been-
I'm going to have a breakage. So make me small, Paul. Make me small.
I'll
make me
you small.
tiny.
Make my creatures grow.
Ungrow, disgrow.
Ungrow. Shrink. No,
Yeah, thank
like-
you to Quality Joe's for quality toys.
for the
the opportunity to see this thing properly,
I still haven't
Check
come
out
around
Quality
on the
Joe's
console.
on eBay if you are curious. It's a very well curated collection of stuff. Link in the description below.
Yes, once again.
Yeah, man. Tell them GI Joburg sent you.
Yeah.
For thank you and a pat on the back. I don't know what Quality Joe's will do for somebody who shouts out GI Joe.
They'll
GI
be
Joburg
excited
them.
to meet someone else who appreciates Joe,
Yeah.
and appreciates GI Joburg, kind of like our patrons and our YouTube members who
Yeah.
throw us a little money each month to kind of help keep the coffee warm and the lights on. We appreciate every single one of you. Stephen produces a fantastic vlog. He's on over 4 million episodes at this point. Amazing. And also early
Discord.
access to the podcast Discord, ad-free early access as well.
Mhm.
Fantastic. So if you don't like ads, if you don't want to hear about the latest dishwashing liquid or something, we love you. We love everyone who even if you just come around, you give us a like, you listen to us, we appreciate all of you. And of course, commenting as well. Commenting is so fun. Like you just say something and
We love your
we'll
comments.
possibly say something back to you. I mean, I think that's cool. That's the most wonderful thing, especially on YouTube, I think, is that there's that direct access to the people producing the stuff that you enjoy.
Every single one is read, whether I
Yeah.
respond or not. Hopefully, I've
Yeah.
thrown you a like just for
Yeah,
showing
that's
up.
often what I do as well.
Yeah, that's often what they do.
Yeah.
But if you really provoke me, then I will respond. So
You
be
will
thought provoking.
really respond. Be provocative in your comments. But even if
Do
not,
it.
commenting will just make your day better, I feel.
I'm just smiling.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here.
Paul
I'm
is
here for
right
this.
here, guys. He's
I'm right
here
here
with
for
us.
this.
All right, the final
Yeah.
question of episode 441, and this goes out to the listeners and to you, gentlemen.
Yes.
Of the figures that we have discovered on this journey, which is your most likely purchase? And know that I will perhaps in future be using this to determine your Christmas gifts. So, put out your wish list. No. Of the figures that we've spoken about today.
Arctic Baroness is
Wow.
definitely one I'm going to be picking up. Arctic Baroness and the Shipwreck are speaking to me in the biggest way.
Okay, so those are the ones you're going to buy. So those are the ones Steven shouldn't get you for Christmas.
No, it's like it's not about that right now. Right now, it's about which are the two I'm definitely going to clinch. It's those two, and the ones I'm on the fence about is I'm on the fence about Flint, and I'm on the fence about the
Snake
armor.
Figure.
See, that's how on the fence I am. I was struggling.
That is, you can't even remember what they are. Well, I think of these, I think Baroness is quite cool. I think that's a nice variation on Baroness. It's nice to see her. She's still in her tight outfit, but now there's something else on top of that, and it's nice to have a variation on Baroness. Finally, I feel like that doesn't happen often enough. And weird enough, I actually quite like I like the Jinx. I think the Jinx is actually really quite good. Yes, weird accessories, but if you own another Jinx, or if you have swords, then you can complete her yourself.
Totally.
And I think that's really great. I would say I'm excited for the Flint, but I mean, Steven's experience with the flesh tone painting kind of is a bit of a downer. And maybe if we get pictures of it and it turns out he's not like that, I think that it could be nice to have a variation on Flint as well.
Arctic Baroness is definitely making me regret not getting Arctic Destro when I did.
Yeah.
That is definitely something that's going on in my mind.
My goodness.
And Shipwreck in his winter gear has got me thinking like, damn, I didn't pick up Chuckles. And that's kind of where I'm at with like Flint right now and the snake armor.
That's where
I'm
you're
going,
at. Yeah.
I'm 50-50 about those, which means maybe I've got a little bit of budget to get some of the figures that I haven't picked up yet, like the Chuckles and maybe Arctic Destro. That's kind of where my mind is at right now.
Okay. But for me, Baroness, Jinx, I think those for me the two standouts from this wave. Steven, what do you think? What's
Hates them all.
I once again have to level my criticism that yes, they're giving us different looks, but they're not giving us characters that we haven't seen yet. Like, if only I loved the Fatal Fluffies, then I would be like a pig in shit right now. Because that is a character or design, whatever, figure that we've never gotten. And Joe fans have been clamoring for the longest time. And now they've not only given us a single carded version, but they've doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down. They've given us a 3-pack. So fans of the Fatal Fluffies are happy. If you liked Ramar from the first series, then you're also happy. Like, that's the stuff that I'm holding out for. The Pythonas, the Maras. Like, if you don't include one of... That's what I was hoping for, man. If you don't include one of those in your wave, if it is just a bunch of characters that we already possess, albeit in different looks, my issue is, will this look usurp my current favorite? If the answer is no, I don't need it.
Yeah.
The case in point is this Falcon, which is a fine figure, But will he usurp 1987? He will not. He is therefore dead to me. A wasted space. Something that goes into the drawer and will never see the light of day again. That's the
But
kind
I
of
mean,
collector I am.
at least you were out there. You tested your resolve. You know, you
Mhm.
got him. You kind of you're
Yeah.
able to compare now, and now you know for
Well,
sure
he was
that
Amazon retail price, regular retail price, and free shipping. Next day delivery. Those
thank
are the
goodness.
optimal conditions to get an action figure. Because God knows we have to jump through hoops otherwise.
100%. But
big
yeah, I
time.
think you're right, Stephen. I mean, they came at this with wanting to give Joe's stuff they've never had before, and in a way
Give
they
me that
are,
stuff.
but they're not doing it the way that we would really want them to. Give us more characters
Need the
that we never
deep
had.
cuts. Yeah. Fill my
Mhm.
roster with characters that have been empty slots up until now.
Yeah, give us what's his name's Ripcourt's girlfriend, Bingo Bongo, in a bloody bear costume. I mean,
I think we're definitely getting that.
wow. Okay,
Mm.
If you're at the intersection of Joe fan and furry, now is your time.
now's your
Yeah, but-
time, like Paul.
No, I'm not furry. But
Yeah, but
I
you
think we're
said you're
definitely
so
going to get
excited
that as
for
a
it.
2-pack. I really
Yeah.
do think we're going to get her by herself and her like as the bear costume. I think we're totally going to get
Yeah.
that. Like that is, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
When? Okay. Well, Bingo Bongo 441 in the Congo. We'll see you 442. Join us next week. We might just talk about Joe's. You never know. It could happen.
Could it be a GI Joe based topic on GI Joburg? Find out next week.
Whoa.
Cool, guys. Otherwise, enjoy the scoop-ish thing. News.
Yeah.
Stay
Bird.
cool in the pool.
Yeah. Bird.